Hello, everybody. Cole's moving the Chainsaw Man mangas because that was for a different show.
Wrong show. Those aren't. You didn't see anything, anybody. You didn't see nothing.
Quick, cut the feed, cut the feed, cut the.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 172nd episode of the freaking 172. Yikes.
We're almost at 200. Next year, we will hit 200.
That's too much.
Isn't that crazy?
That's way too many.
We even took like 6 months off this year. We probably would have hit it this year. Maybe we didn't take that much. No, I think we did. We never did a podcast when we came back from Christmas
Joe Rogan
break.
over 1,000, so
He does like 2 a week.
Yeah,
though.
Joe Rogan's just One Piece. Joe Rogan's just Luffy.
You know that there's people that have caught up. There's more. Let this sink in. There is more Joe Rogan content than One Piece. Because he does like 2.5-hour shows.
Those are fighting words, Thane. What are you going to do?
Two completely different formats.
Fight him.
You could say it's the One Piece
Fight
of
him.
podcasts.
Fight him, Thane.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying that there's more Joe
I would
Rogan
have punched you in the face.
content out there than
You'd
One
have done
Piece.
that to me.
I never said it was better or worse. I'm not comparing. I'm not comparing the quality. I'm comparing the time.
How dare
the
you,
length.
Skylar? You're a monster.
This is how JoJo fans communicate.
Yeah, I guess.
See, you're a JoJo fan now.
Uh-oh. Yeah, this is the Talking Rad Podcast.
Why is being a JoJo fan bad?
I never said it was bad, Thane. I never said Joe Rogan and One Piece were bad or even related in any way, shape, or form.
You're stuffing your words into stuffing words into your own mouth.
Speaking of stuffing words into my mouths, I'm going to take out some words out of my mouth and continue the intro. Like we were saying, this is 172. My name is Cole. And these are the guys, the boys, the homies, the friendos,
I'm going to be Thane today. My name's Thane.
Oh.
Who are you going to be?
Fernando. Call it Casablanca.
Alejandro. You know that song by Fergie? Don't call my name.
That's not Fergie.
Alejandro.
Roberto.
That's Lady Gaga.
I'm not sure, babe.
I got to say that I think Fergie, when I listened to her sing live with the Black Eyed Peas, wasn't very good.
Wait. Roll back a little bit. You saw the Black Eyed Peas live?
No. They performed at like the Super Bowl or something. I can't remember. They did a live performance.
Okay. I thought you went and saw them.
There was one live show where Will.i.am, he's like drunk or something. It's like it's like what the hell?
You were trying? No, my dad, so he went to a show. He took my mom to go see her favorite band. This was probably the 90s. Was Firehouse at the time.
I was going to say Air Supply.
No, that was the couple years.
It's
decades.
A little older.
Yeah.
A little older. My bad.
So my dad took her to see Firehouse, and they opened up, and they were really good. And then Warrant was the headliner, and they were all drunk, and they got booed off the stage, so Firehouse came back on.
No cherry pies tonight, am I right?
Oof. That is something else that you just said there.
What do you mean?
It's the name of the song, but it's also something else.
What else is it? Tell me. I want to know. I don't understand what you're saying.
You ever heard of the term poppin' the cherry?
Yeah, I didn't ever. Just because I said the word cherry pie does not mean that instantly.
Well,
that's what they mean when they sing the song.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh.
Lawrence, don't do this to me.
My cherry pie.
Keep going.
She looks so good, bring a tear to your eye. She looks so good, make a grown man cry.
Yeah,
They're
they're not saying they're gonna freaking what is it? Deflower her.
Oh,
they're not saying that.
Okay,
Cole's about to be sad.
If you could say that, read the lyrics that would imply they're deflowering.
Do the
somebody.
baseball one.
And I'm not trying to say that it's probably not. It probably is.
Here we go. She's my cherry pie, cool drink of water, such a sweet surprise. Tastes so good, makes a grown man cry, sweet cherry pie.
Yeah, she's just super hot.
Swinging on the front porch, swinging on the lawn.
Yeah, they're banging.
Swinging where we want.
Oh, yeah, they're banging.
Because there ain't nobody home.
Yep.
Swinging to the left.
Yep.
Swinging to the right.
Correct.
I think I'm about baseball. I'll swing all night.
Yeah.
Swinging in the living room, swinging in the kitchen.
I understand they're swinging all over the place, but they're not implying that it's their first time. That's what I'm saying.
She wanted to feed her. I mixed up the batter, and she licked the beater.
Saying the word cherry pie does not automatically insinuate that it's the first time.
It's
In fact, I would argue that if anybody's going as hard on that first time, then that's not right. That seems like it's a little much for a first time. They're all in the house. They're all on the porch. They're everywhere.
The beater. I've never read these lyrics, by the way.
Yeah.
She licked the beater.
My argument isn't that they're not banging. My argument is that it's not.
But also could be by the title implied he did take her virginity.
Oh, potentially,
scream,
sure.
You scream, we all scream for her.
I don't think saying the word cherry pie
scream
implies that. I don't think it implies that.
Those sheets were definitely red.
If it said that, then I would say yeah, I would agree. But I don't think it does.
Oof, imagine getting caught. Swinging in the bathroom, swinging on the floor, swinging so hard we forgot to lock the door. In walked her daddy standing 6'4", ain't gonna swing with my daughter no more. He got caught.
Yeah.
It's funny how they say swing instead of like the naughty words.
Yeah. I agree with you, Cole, for the most part. Actually, all of it.
It's just as soon as somebody said the word cherry, everybody, you two just jumped on it like, oh yeah, oh baby,
that's because
oh baby.
so you said
you guys.
there ain't gonna be no cherry pies, implying that the song wasn't going to be played.
Yes, correct.
But their song is that.
Yeah, it's not implying first times though.
Sure, yeah.
Thane took it that way though, for sure.
I mean, what else does it mean?
It's like saying somebody's sweet. She's my sweetie. She's my honey. She's my cherry pie.
But in the context of the song is what I'm saying. The context of the song, which is what you said, because you said cherry pie and warrant.
Pochita.
Pochita's down.
Rip.
And that's what they mean in the song. That's the only reason I said it.
Do you think they actually mean they're deflowering her?
No, they say many times that they have
Different
sex
broke
with
that
her.
pussy in. I'm sorry.
I do not think they're deflowering her.
I didn't think so either, but Thane took it that way.
I will say, because of this song, anytime I hear the word cherry pie, that's immediately what I think of is this song, and in turn, I think of having sex.
You don't think of defloration, though?
No.
Okay, Thane did, though. That's where I'm getting at. I assumed that you thought that way as well because Thane started talking, and then you didn't deny.
No, I always just assumed cherry pie was just like another way to say vagina.
On another note, did you know Animal Crossing makes a poppin' cherry joke when you catch cherries? You catch a sakura fish.
Really?
Yeah, it's like you caught a. I think it's like a sakura fish or a pink salmon. Talk about popping that cherry or something.
You need to look that up.
Yeah, I could look it up.
We need to be accurate when we accuse Animal Crossing of things.
I was gonna say I don't know if you quoted that quite right. There's no way.
Well,
it says it like
also
that.
when you catch a stag beetle, they do a reference to a stag party.
Don't get me wrong. I think there's lots of adult humor in
everything. Yeah, I agree.
Especially family-friendly content,
Sure,
such as Animal Crossing.
Like the swimmer in Pokemon who says, "Where do you think I keep my Pokeballs?" She's swimming in her bikini. Where does she keep them?
One can only
imagine.
Pokemon has a lot of like weird sexual
there's a lot
innuendos.
Of weird innuendos here and there.
It's just like, dang.
That's like the classic go-to one, though.
Because I'll see some of them pop up on Reddit, and I'm like, "There's no way that's real, right?" But then I've played through the games now, so I'm like, well, "It probably is." Did you find it? Did you find the sakura fish?
Hold on, let's see here.
This is day. I don't even freaking know. We've been doing this so long now.
Of Sierra Mist?
Of Taco Bell Mondays.
Taco Bell Monday?
So I show my Sierra Mist every episode.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
There will probably be a day when it stops. But it's not this day. And probably not next week either. Yeah, we have one more show. By the way, I guess we could throw that out there. We have one more show before we take a break for, at least with the podcast, before Christmas break. We usually take the first 2 weeks off in January. But the last video on the main channel will be the 31st, I believe, is a Saturday. Is that correct?
Yep.
But Life is Daijoubu will still continue to do that. So you will get some content from us, but it's always nice for us to take a break because for Probably like 340 days out of the year we're doing crap. I don't know how many weekends we get. Probably more than that.
Yeah, I don't know where I saw that. I think it was
Is that just a dream thing?
This is heavily implied. No, but
Well, it can't be heavily implied if you don't have the proof. There's no implications if there's no proof.
To be fair, Thane, you probably did see some weird sexual
Oh, yeah.
stuff in
I'm not
Animal
denying
Crossing.
it. I'm just saying. Well, I guess I am denying it. I'm not denying that there isn't stuff like that potentially in Animal Crossing. I'm denying that.
That one specifically?
Specifically the way you worded it, too, especially. There's no way they worded it like the way you said it.
Yeah.
They would have been a little more
Classy about
classy about it, yeah.
it. They would have taken it in an
I
artistical
never
direction.
said they said, "Wow, it's time to pop the cherry." No, it's
You were
like
just ad-libbing?
Yeah, it was like they said something like it.
Something
I
along
never
those
said.
lines.
Oh, I never said that was quote for quote.
I bet they
The
could
closest
say,
thing-
I could see him saying something like that your first time or something.
Wow, was this your first time catching the cherry fish? Something like that. That would have done it. That
The
would have
closest
worked right
thing
away.
I saw was I caught a cherry salmon. Now for a cherry salmon pie. That's about it.
That's
and then,
probably exactly what you read.
It's a salmon. I think it's
And
one
then,
of the,
well, yeah, we already established that you assumed that the "She's My Cherry Pie" song talked about their first time. So, like, you seeing that might have been like, oh, they're talking about Cherry Pie, the song by Warrant,
Okay.
which means first time.
I think we got to just put this cherry pie thing to rest. So I'm going to look up what the...
Why do they call it Cherry Pie?
Yeah.
So speaking of meanings, Brian Adams insists that Summer of '69 doesn't mean the number.
No.
But another guy who helped write it, he says that's not what it means. So there's conflicting.
Okay,
Summer-
well,
Yeah.
Summer of '69 doesn't have sex talk really much in it.
Yeah.
no, but
But
Jack
Brian-
and Diane sure does.
Well, yeah, we're not talking about Shaq and Diane.
Sucking
Where'd
on
that come
chili
from?
dog.
Okay, well, according to the internet, a
Okay,
cherry
here we go.
pie is baked with cherry filling. That's Wikipedia. But according to Urban Dictionary, a virgin's vagina. The term originated from the song Sweet Cherry Pie by the old band Warrant.
Well, that's a crazy first time then, Warrant.
Wow.
I don't
What
know
the
about
fuck?
that one.
Sorry, Jesus.
I don't know about that one, Warrant. That's
So I guess just the term pie in general is another common definition for vagina.
What the hell?
Here's another one for you. Why is cherry sexualized? Inspired by the dark color of the black cherry, 16th and 17th century Britons would use the fruit to describe the shade of a woman's pubic hair. A more
Oh.
contemporary resurgence in usage spawned from the early 20th century based on the idea of ripeness as opposed to shape or color.
interesting.
Yeah. Oh, another definition of pie in the drug world refers to kilograms of cocaine usually.
Oh, wow.
Well, there you guys have it. There is your cherry pie lesson.
So I guess I was wrong. Warrant did, in fact, mean what Thane thought they meant.
To be fair, the lyrics don't really imply a first time.
No. You'd have to know the subcontext behind it. Also, if we're being really honest, it's really not their first time. That song's been played over and over
Yeah.
again. The first time they played it, maybe
So-
then.
So you know how certain your certain neighbors, you can like change what they say. They always say something like "what shall" or something, and you say "what should I say it," and you can customize it.
Are you talking about Animal Crossing?
Yeah, Animal
okay,
Crossing.
cool. I was get on the same page with you, okay?
Yes, you could say their little catchphrase at the end.
You can change their catchphrase.
Yeah,
Got it.
and there's this one that says, "This red drum is for you. Don't worry, I gave it a good wipe down in my ass."
What?
DC changed it in my ass, so
Is
there
that
you go.
is that his name?
I'm surprised Animal
No,
Crossing let that one
It's
through.
his catchphrase.
Good
Oh.
job, Mr. Nintendo. Looking at you, Mr. Mario.
By the way, I still can't get Pokemon to work. I guess I'll check after this because I really want to show you that Pokemon I named Naughty, and I was really surprised it got through.
Oh, yeah? You don't remember his name, though, do you?
I think it was the B word. I think it was Biznatch.
Oh, yeah, you could
No,
probably write it like that.
No, the actual B word.
oh.
Beach.
Bitch.
Yeah. I'm trying to do a better job of not swearing on camera.
Or the podcast.
But, well, I think I've only sworn once on the podcast. That's probably not true, let's be honest. But because, like, at work, I usually only cuss in front of my friends. Like, I don't even cuss in front of my family. But, like, at work, I think I accidentally slipped the word damn, and people gave me some eyes, and I'm like, damn, I shouldn't say that.
You say it, and then everybody looks at you and go, damn it, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry, guys.
My boss, what's funny, so I spent the whole weekend at work because we had our recitals all day Friday and Saturday. So I sat down when one of our breaks, I was talking to my boss, and she's watching this show. It takes place in the 50s, but it's a modern show. It's called Miss something. You might know what it is, Thane.
Marvelous Miss Maisel.
That's exactly it. And it has like a whole bunch of F-bombs, and she was like telling me about it.
I looked up the scene where she flashed her titties, and I was like, whoa.
Was it hot?
They're okay.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, my boss was telling me about
what a show.
This show that she's watching. And she's like, I feel really bad when I watch it, so sometimes I just turn the volume down. I'm like, well, that's not fun.
What, did you feel bad about the titty flash scene?
She didn't tell me about the titty flash scene.
But now you know.
She did tell me to watch it, though. She said it's kind of fun. She really likes it because she grew up in, like, the 50s and 60s, so it's very nostalgic for her seeing stuff like that.
Is this your boss or your, like...
the old lady boss
old
boss.
lady boss
Yeah.
boss.
This old lady that works with us, she said she was watching that Jeffrey Dahmer show on Netflix. Like, whoa, that one's pretty intense.
Brigham couldn't even finish it. He said it was too much for him.
Yeah.
Which I watched the what was the other one? What was the other guy? The other serial killer?
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy. I watched the Ted Bundy tapes, and that just freaked me out.
What's his full name? Tedithan?
Theodore?
Theodore.
Tedston?
It's Theodore.
Tedston?
Teddy?
Cole, do you know anybody with those names? Tedston? There probably
Why
is.
not? Why not?
There probably is. There probably is. But do you know of anyone? Because I know of a person.
Tedium?
I've heard of Teddy. I've heard of Theodore, because Theodore is the full name. And so I've heard of Teddy, Ted, or Theo.
Tedderston?
Not Tedderston, no.
Ted Tedderson Jr.
Theodore is the full name, and I've heard of Ted, Teddy, and Theo.
Ted Tedderson Tazinski.
Mind you, those were all short for the name Theodore, though. Like, you had a friend named Theo.
I did.
Did you call him
Artie.
Tedston?
No, never.
You should have.
It would have been funny.
Did you call him Teddy?
Tedston.
Or Tedderston.
Tedderston?
I'm trying to think of other things, like Tedstifer.
Why is
Tedrick.
Tedrick! Oh my
That's
gosh,
kinda
that's
dope.
the best one.
That's kind of dope,
That's the
dude.
best one. You did it, Sky. You did it.
Why is Jimmy a nickname for James?
Why is Robert nicknamed for Bob?
Why is Dick nicknamed for
No,
Richard?
That's opposite.
That one always gets me.
Yeah,
Like
Dick-
when I learned that one, because I went to church and there's
Dick
an old
Richards.
guy. There's an old guy. His name was Richard, but I always called him by Brother Smith.
Brother
Yeah.
Dick.
Yeah, Brother Dick.
Brother Dick.
But-
Hey, Brother Dick.
But some of the old guys in church were like, "Hey, Dick, what's up?" And I'm like 11-year-old me.
You're just all like,
But his name, and I'm just like in my head, his name's Richard. And then I went home and I was like, Dad, why do they call Brother Richard Dick? And then that's when I learned that names can be shortened. But who picked him? I don't freaking know. How does Richard become Dick?
Cheney.
Robert becomes Bob.
Bobbert.
Bobbert. Or
William
Robertson.
becomes Bill.
William. Yeah, William becomes Billy.
Like
Thane
William,
becomes Thaner.
like William
No, shut the
Dotrieve
fuck up.
from
I'm sorry. I'm
from
really
King of the
bad this
Hill.
episode.
King of the Hill. What's another one? What are some other like generic?
I've heard Margaret. It could be shortened to Peggy.
Oh, I was gonna say Marge.
Yeah. No, that's like sometimes they'll call women named Margaret. They'll say Peggy. It's like,
You know what's another one that's interesting because it has so many iterations is the name Elizabeth.
Liza,
Lizzie, Beth,
Beth,
Bethany.
Eliza, like Elijah,
Yeah.
you know, like the full thing. Yeah. Ellie, maybe.
I've heard Ellie too.
Ellie.
I think that's it.
Bay. I don't
No,
think
nobody's
everyone-
saying that
yeah.
one. Nobody's saying
Do you
that
guys
one.
work with anyone that has those generic old-fashioned names?
Nope.
Nope, not really. Not that I can think of.
Yeah, me neither. I work with 3 people. Their name's Brianna. So we have to call all of them something different. One of them's Brianna, one of them's Bree, and one of them's Annie.
Why the last one?
Don't know.
Maybe it's a middle name?
I don't know. No idea. But I also work with another girl. Her name is Mistine, and I thought that's such a cool name.
Mistine?
Mistine, yeah.
Do you ever
Well,
call her
there is
Mystique? Like the X-Men?
She's really pretty,
There's an
and I'm
Ann.
scared to approach her.
Oh, she's the one I told you to set me up with her.
No, that's a different one.
Who's that one?
Her name's Madison,
Madison.
but we call her Maddie. She wants us to call her Maddie because she thinks that she's been trained that when she hears her full name, it's because she's getting in trouble by her parents.
It's like when my mom would use my full name, all 3 syllables of it. And then I would know it's business. I mean, I'm in trouble. It's bad. It's business now. what would your parents yell at you?
Just my name.
Just Thane.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of boring. What about you?
Okay, I'm going to swear even though I said I wasn't because this is a quote. My mom would be like, "You little shit." That's
Wait,
her go-to.
she wouldn't go Skylar.
Sometimes, but usually she would call us "you little shits."
Oh, actually, my mom wouldn't use my full name that much. She'd use my first and middle name, not my last name. very
Cole
often.
Wayne.
Yeah, but no, it's more of a Cole Wayne.
Cole
Like
Wayne.
that. Yeah.
Sometimes my mom would call me by my middle, like my full name. Like it was more of like disappointed or shocked, like Skylar Galen Page,
Yeah.
or she'd call me Mr. Page a lot.
Mine's an angry yell. That's when I would get my full name.
Did you know this was actually a name back then? Well, Dick is not really a name, but back then you used to name
Billiam.
not Billiam. They used to name women. They used to name back then. They used to name them gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's if you hear the word a girl named gay, it's like haha, gay. That's it.
That's all you got.
The times have changed. Like my middle name is Galen. My grandpa's name was Galen, but that's a very old-fashioned
We
name.
also a name Gaylord.
My other grandma's name's old-fashioned too. Her name's Georgia.
What do you think of the name like Bruce?
I have an uncle named Bruce. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Well, what about a 6-year-old named Bruce?
It just doesn't fit.
Brucey, I know, yeah.
You just got some. You're at your school and you got some kid. He's like, oh, this is your new student. What's his name? It's Bruce. 6
Bruce.
Hi, my name's Bruce.
And his voice
Bruce
drops.
is-
He's just a full-grown
Hi,
man.
my name's Bruce.
My name's Bruce. Anytime he says his name.
What are other like just very old person names? You're only like Margaret. You wouldn't ever see
Yeah.
a little girl named Margaret, a little 6-year-old.
Have-
Hi, my name's Margaret.
Bob, probably. If I saw a little
Bob?
6-year-old come in and he's like, "Hi, my name's Bob," and I'm just like,
Bobby.
I'm gonna
I
call you
see
Bobby. I'm gonna
be
call you
the
Little
name.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Little
Then
Bobby.
yeah.
What is Big
Little
Bobby?
Bill. Names I wouldn't hear like people over like 70 with the name or 80 even, like Brittany. I've never
Oh,
heard old person
Nah, I associate Brittany with younger crowd too.
Yeah.
Personally.
or Jennifer. Like that one's
You see, all out of this
Yeah.
for me specific. I don't know if it's how with you guys, but like I associate names to people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
But like if I hear a name, I always associate that name with that person,
So,
without
like,
a doubt.
if you hear another Skylar, do you think of me?
100% will be you. Yep. If I meet somebody with the same name as somebody else I know, I always associate it to the first person I met with that name.
So that's you with Cole as well for me,
Yeah.
because you were the first Cole because we went to preschool together,
Yeah.
but like none of the other Coles went to our schools. So you were the only Cole I knew, and then it was like in 4th grade when all of us went to the same school, because we all went to different grade schools, but in 4th grade they combined us in the same. I guess that's grade school. We went to different elementaries. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so like Thane and Skylar, like you guys are the only ones I knew growing up.
What about Zay?
Yeah, he was the only one because I didn't know any
Yeah.
other Xaviers until now, really. I might have known another, but I didn't really know him. But like, for example, like at work we have 2 people named Colton. They're both named Colton, but I didn't associate each other's names with the first Colton I met at work. It's from this kid from high school that I knew named Colton. So whenever I first met them and I had to remember their name, I always thought of that kid from high school. That's how it always works. But sometimes it's not people I know. It's like a TV show character or a video game character. Like I met this dude at work named Grayson, and I'm like, oh, like Grayson from Bulletstorm. And that's how I remember his name. But I always just associate it to something very specific, and it always links back to that very specific one. Sometimes a person will become more important in my life that will replace the previous one. Interestingly enough, Colton from high school had a brother named Cody, and I would always associate Cody's after meeting him with him. But then my sister got married to a person named Cody, and now all Codys default to my brother-in-law. And that's how my brain works. Well, you're welcome, everybody. Thanks for that's my TED Talk.
Yeah, thanks for your TED Talk. Thanks for your Tedrick Talk.
Sometimes a name
My
becomes
TED
so
Talk-
common.
my TED
it's like,
Stofferson.
Ted Stofferson.
Tedrick. I like Tedrick the best still. It's still really good.
sometimes a name like Jacob or Josh or Jimmy becomes so common that it's like, oh, another Jimmy, another.
I don't know any Jimmys, so
Andy.
my brain would default to Jimmy Neutron without fail.
Yeah.
I don't think we went to school with any Jimmys.
No Jimmys. Nope.
Any Tanners?
Yes.
Yep. I have a default for that one. I'm sure you know the person.
Same. I have the same one.
Any. Well, Riker, you probably know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Riker.
High school.
Josh. Yep.
Josh.
Clayton. Yep.
Yep. He's my cousin, kind of. Clayton, the one you're thinking of, maybe.
Yeah. The twins.
Somehow he's my cousin.
The twins.
Yeah.
I feel like you're related to so many people
Oh
in
yeah,
our area.
I totally am.
But you just don't even know.
Well, it's my last name. The Beck name in our area is. We got around.
Have you gone to any extended family reunions?
Yeah, I don't know anybody there
Okay. That's
except for my grandpa.
yeah. I'm sure yours are the same thing. Like I go to we haven't gone for a while because family reunions suck. I've
Yeah,
decided.
it's kind of
They're not
awkward.
fun.
You go over and say, hey,
I don't
haven't
know
seen
you.
a while. I don't remember your name. So many people's names.
It was
that-
like, oh, it's Thane. I remember when you were this tall. And
It's
you're like,
like,
I don't freaking know who you are.
yeah,
Like,
uncle.
We found out that Thane's cousins with the girl that Cole and I went to school with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. I remember this.
Yeah. But
don't.
yeah, it's kind of weird. But it's funny.
I love just watching Thane to see where he's going to go with what he just. His brain just. His gears start turning to see where
It's
he's going
funny.
to end up.
The only Bobby I knew was in grade school, and it was a girl.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think
That's
Bobby's.
true. Bobby is a girl's name.
Yeah,
I think
Barbara.
Bobby's
Brown.
Yeah.
I always
It's
think
kind of.
Bobby
Have you ever
Brown.
heard of? So remember this from Digimon Tamers?
Digimon? Digimon?
It was the third season with the red Agumon clone, but looked like a Velociraptor.
I never watched. I just watched the original Digimon.
Tamers is the best one.
Yeah, I was a kid. I don't care what it was. I just saw them
No,
go in the digital world.
I
and-
loved
stuff.
Tamers the best, the third season, but and it was the one with the cards and they go. That was the
I
coolest.
definitely didn't watch that one.
Yeah, that was the coolest one. Anyways, there's a girl. She's like the fourth ranger or the fourth Digimon tamer, and her name was Jerry.
Oh yeah,
There's it's spelled Jerri.
is it just a bad translation or
No, it's like they had to change the names. They
or
all
bad
changed.
adaptation rather?
Yeah. Well, apparently I didn't know this, but Jerry is just can be a girl's name too.
Really?
Yeah,
Is it like Geraldine?
but there's also there's also an actress. She was on Star Trek Voyager. Her name's Jerry Ryan.
Was it Geraldine Ryan?
I
Or just
don't
Jerry?
know. I can look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's how they spelled it. They spelled it with an H, I think.
By the way, let's just go all the way through. We're not gonna do ads today. Because we gotta end a little bit early. Let's just go to 8:30. Is that cool?
Okay.
Okay. Should we? All right. Well. Yeah, that's Jerry Lynn Ryan. That's it. Jeri.
Jer. So
Yeah.
with the G.
You probably
Or
seen her
J.
before. This is her. She doesn't
cute.
look.
She pretty.
She looked even better when she was younger. When she was on Star Trek.
Imagine this conversation.
This is what she looked like in
20 years from
Star
now.
Trek.
This conversation 20 years from now, it's gonna be like, yo, isn't like 32 point E point west such a crazy name?
Yeah.
Like, I only know 3 32 point E point wests.
What about Table Leg? Do you remember Table
Oh
Leg?
no,
from-
Elon Musk was on to something.
Was I close with the name? Or was that not
No,
close?
I don't remember.
They have
It's like
they have a short nickname for it. Their child.
Well, yeah, of course you do.
Yeah.
You wouldn't call them whatever they had. They named
Some
them.
people
It was.
That's
I
a-
think it was
that's
after
a
a plane,
nightmare.
wasn't it?
Some people tried to guess. It was like, is it Kyle? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, that name's a nightmare, dude.
Yeah, I know. Poor kid. Anyways, we'll be back.
No, we're not taking a break.
we're not taking a break.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm
Sorry.
curious. I got to see this.
They
this
freaking
name.
they pre-came.
Elon Musk
Shoot!
kid's name.
Don't you dare get in front of that camera.
he stands in front and shows his dong.
Oh, I don't even know how to say this.
Yeah.
It's X, and then like AE looks like American Eagle logo, and another A, and then a dash and a 12. Exa 12.
Does it show how to pronounce it?
I'm finding out.
He's-
X Ash A 12. So A and E is pronounced Ash. So how do I pronounce it?
I
This
think it's-
this is a terrible freaking
I think it's
website.
X
I'm
Ash
on.
A12
X Ash
because it's a
A12.
plane. I remember on the Joe Rogan podcast he was talking about it and he's like, "Yeah, I just like the plane, so I guess I put it on there." And like,
Wow.
What a bad name.
you named your kid after a plane?
We'll
'cause
just
you
call him
liked it?
Ash.
I,
I
think
bet he
that's
just
probably-
grows up calling him Ash.
Yeah.
He's getting made fun of. Hey, it's Ash Ketchum.
But imagine the
Catch any
freaking
pocket
he's,
monsters.
he's writing his name on like all his papers for school, and his teacher's like, "Why are you writing formulas in the name section?"
That's my name. Don't make fun of me.
I bet he just
telling my
writes
Did you know
dad.
that
I'm
apparently
gonna get
PS
I'm gonna get you
Ash
banned on
Musk.
Twitter. My
They,
dad owns Twitter.
give you I learned this on a Moist Critical video that they give you your PS5 a nickname, and some games will just display it, and it's like, why?
Sometimes when I go on
Yeah.
YouTube at night, it asks me if I want to stream to Thane's PlayStation 5, and I think about it. I really do.
would.
He would be so pissed, dude.
One time I did it on accident when I was in the living room trying to connect to the TV, and it came out screaming at me.
What the F?
I'm like, it was an accident, Thane. Yikes! Don't be yelling.
And then he gave you a kiss.
No, he didn't. I wish he would have, but he didn't.
No, I don't give.
He
kisses.
should have. He should have.
So
Did you say it's cold down here?
It was very
I
cold
don't know.
down here.
It's freezing down here all the time. You can see how many
Okay.
dead spiders we have all over too. There's a whole bunch
Yeah.
back here too.
if you want to have a snack, just reach down on the floor.
They're crunchy.
Eat one. Yeah, big yikes.
Yum. So last week we talked about the Game Awards,
Oh yeah.
and we didn't actually know the results when we talked about them, and the
Yeah.
video came out a day after the results happened.
Yeah.
We were wrong.
We were pretty dang
Yeah.
wrong. Rip Splatoon. Was
Yeah.
it Splatoon that we voted for? What did we
Yeah.
vote for? I don't
So we
even
voted
voted
remember.
for
Splatoon
best
for-
family game.
Yeah.
We voted for best
And we
family
got that
game.
wrong,
Yeah, it was
right?
Kirby.
And then we voted
And I was like-
Overwatch for best
I
shooter.
remember I said, "Is it Kirby?" And you said, "No, it's not Kirby." It's
Maybe
like,
it's best
all right, I guess it's not
multiplayer.
Kirby, but it was Kirby.
Would it? And
So, and
Overwatch was
then-
best multiplayer. That's what we voted, but it ended up being Splatoon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
wow, Nintendo.
I still think that was an off pick. I do. I don't think
Yeah,
that was
it's
a,
like-
a correct one.
That's kind of weird. Like Overwatch 2, even if you don't agree
We'll
with
be up in like
Overwatch
10
2,
minutes.
the other, like, they had other nominees that I think would have won over, like Apex. I think.
Well, Apex is pretty rough this last
Yeah.
year, so I wouldn't have said Apex, but I still think Overwatch probably should have beat out Splatoon personally.
Wait, was it new multiplayer that came out for that category?
No, it
Oh,
wasn't new. It was just
okay.
multiplayer game of the year.
And also we had a toss up between God of War and Elden Ring. I think we overall said Elden Ring for Game of the Year.
I don't think there's any way God of War beats Elden Ring in the Game
Yeah,
of the Year award. I don't think
it's
there's
true.
any way. The only so I was thinking about this while watching because God of War won a lot of just random
Yeah.
awards, and I think a lot of it has to do with the game coming out like 2 weeks before the Game Awards even came out, so
Yeah.
it was very fresh in everybody's minds.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the only way God of War would have beat Elden Ring. But then people saw the word Elden Ring and said, "Oh yeah, that's right. That game was the number one."
Yeah. Yeah, like I love God of War, but Elden Ring is very unique. Like I know it's Dark Souls 4 essentially, but like it still has the essence of like a unique game, like a unique once in a lifetime experience.
I imagine it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for me.
Well, Cole, you just gotta
Just turn
Get
easy
good.
mode on,
Yeah.
Cole.
turn easy mode on. Hey, maybe they'll put an easy mode in Armored Core 6.
So I do want to say that I think last time we talked about, we're like, why don't they have the game or the Game Awards in like January, February, something. I was thinking about it, and I wonder if it has something to do with like.
I think it has to do with the game reveals.
Well,
they
that,
wanna
but
pump.
also like ad revenue too, though, because
Yeah.
like, and maybe not. This could just the only reason I'm basing this off of the fact that video games try to release for the holidays because more people are spending money during the holidays, and I wonder if that has something to do with like advertisements and stuff in that ballpark.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Yeah.
But also, like what Thane was saying, there's game reveals. I think there's a lot more that goes into it than just why can't we do it in February or whatever.
Still sucks
I think-
because
totally, because
Yeah.
it takes the spirit out of what it's trying to actually be. In my
exactly,
opinion.
yeah, I'm totally with you there. Which I think if they did one in like the second or third week in January, because then that gives you at least a month to play the games in December.
I also think that when it was the Spike Video Game Awards and it aired on TV,
Oh, those are really old.
yeah, they probably at the time they probably didn't want to compete anything with isn't the Grammys in January?
Yeah, I think something like
Yeah,
that.
they want to compete with the Grammys over the Oscars, so I think
Let's be honest, though. The
Yeah.
people that are watching the Grammys and the Emmys aren't going to be watching
Yeah, it's
Game
true.
Awards, and vice versa. I would imagine the
But-
crossover's pretty small.
Yeah, but like I think they just didn't want to take a chance. They probably thought it's big.
I bet it exists, the
Yeah.
crossover, but
Yeah.
still.
Well, probably Thane, but like
Yeah.
I have not watched. I don't think I've watched a single Emmys or Oscars. Like I've seen clips, but I've
haven't-
never watched
I've-
a straight.
I
one
have
through.
not watched Oscars, Emmys, or like award shows like that for years.
I've never even watched
I
the
haven't either.
Grammys,
Yeah.
and that would be one that I would actually appeal to because I like music.
I would have. The Oscars would appeal to me because I like cinema, but I know the Oscars are like,
Garbage.
yeah, they just like all their nominations. Like now they're trying to do like they're trying to put that one to like appeal to the young crowd, but it's like I don't care anymore. Like
Want to know what? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think that like independent awards that like they saw every movie they could and had like their own personal take. I think those are better, like because they feel like more personal. It's like, hey, this I agree with this person, like something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, even the Game Awards, I just watched for the game reveals. Like I knew Elden Ring was gonna win. It was either gonna be God of War or Elden Ring. Mostly lean towards Elden Ring, but like
This guy just makes me cry.
the
cat game should have won.
Yeah. The last time a small indie game like that one was Journey. And
No, It Takes Two.
Oh yeah.
That won last year.
Oh yeah, I guess that is an indie game in essentially. But one that like made waves like on that like but that game had a bigger scale than usual compared to indie game. That was like 10 hours long.
Still shouldn't have won,
Yeah.
probably. After seeing stuff about it, yeah, I don't think the game should have won.
That might be one you have to play through though.
Yeah.
Because
I think the gameplay is probably pretty solid,
Yeah.
but the story alone, I think, ruins the game.
once again, that might just be a one you have to play through. I know the
Yeah.
scene you're talking about, and I've seen it too, and it's like, yikes.
Well, it's like the whole context behind it. Like, they're like, okay, we need to become back to normal humans or whatever. How do we do it? Well, I know what we need. We need the power of our daughter's tears. Let's make her cry. And then, like, how do we make her cry? Let's brutally torture her favorite stuffed animal.
Spoilers.
I think it's about it's not a super spoil from what I understand. Anyway,
Yeah.
so like the point is that I'm trying to make is that like regardless, like if that's the story you want to tell, I would argue, and I feel like it's obviously it's always going to be subjective, but I would argue that it's not completely subjective, that would be objectively bad storytelling, because the point of the game is like them trying to make their daughter happy, and they essentially go against making their daughter happy in that one small
I thought it
scene.
was trying to save their marriage. Well, I thought the whole point was like they're getting
stay
divorced.
together for the kid kind of thing, though. That was I thought that was their initial premise.
I thought it was we're
Granted, I never played the beginning.
I thought it was we got transformed. Let's get back. Like I want to be normal again, and through going through all their trials and tribulations as being their the selves or whatever they are.
Yeah,
they grow closer together. Granted, like Cole already said, we've never played the game.
Yeah.
Most of my knowledge from it is from this guy that was playing it with somebody, and he had also gone through a divorce, and he said that they stopped halfway through past after that one scene that we're talking about. He said the dialogue entirely leading up to that point, I was like, yeah, these two should never have been married the way they're talking to each other. Like, they clearly didn't get along. And this was coming from a guy that's gone through the divorce process, so like I feel like his word was relatively credible. But at the same time, it's mostly subjective still. You know, everybody's kind of got their own situations and stuff, sure. But regardless, I still don't know if that means it's a Game of the Year winner.
Yeah,
I will give him kudos or props for doing something different for sure with the story. I do like that.
I really like the guy's approach to gaming as making it a co-op experience, because we did play the other one, A Way Out.
Yeah.
And while the gameplay was really fun at times, I don't think we really liked the story, and some of the characters were
Yeah. I guess the other sucky part about it is you really can't play it by yourself.
No.
Yeah.
I've heard people tell me that they can't really play because they don't really have friends that play games.
Well, you can play it online with some rando.
Yeah,
but
you can.
That's no
but
fun.
There's no way it's the same experiences. And I've always heard it's the best experience is to play with like your partner.
Of course, yeah.
So like I
that
don't.
way you can end up deciding if you want to get a divorce or not.
I don't really know anything.
Or what if this is what it was? What if his whole intention was to make this game about such a terrible couple and have other couples play and going, wow, maybe we're not so bad. Look at these guys.
It could be. It could be. Also, I don't know if that game was necessarily made for kids. I don't know what the rating is. But if they're doing a commentary on adults getting divorced, it's not really geared towards children.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
I think it also won like family-friendly Game of the Year too. That's the other problem with that.
I don't think, even though it's a stuffed animal, having a straight-up torture scene where I'm pretty sure the animal's like sentient, right? It's
it was
running
sentient.
around.
It was screaming and stuff while they're ripping it apart.
You're ripping it off. It's oh my god, help!
So I will say though, I'm okay with like approaching the topic of divorce with kids. I think that's a fine topic to talk about and tell stories about for their literature. But the torture scene was even much for like adult writing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did it look like it was straight out of like Metal Gear Solid when Snake gets
Well, I
tortured?
mean, you're still watching a stuffed animal be
Yeah.
ripped apart. I think it's the fact that the voice acting of the stuffed animal was screaming when it was getting ripped apart. He was like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Ah! Kind of stuff. And I'm just
wow.
like, okay, kids Game of the Year, family
That's
game
like
or whatever.
Brave Little Toaster levels of dark.
Yeah,
I need to go
yeah.
back and rewatch that. That was one of my favorite shows as a
I don't
kid.
think they hold up. I tried watching the first one a little bit.
The blanket when he's getting pulled in by like moles in a hole, he says, help, it's killing me. It's like, geez.
Yeah, I remember that as a kid.
To be fair, though, Thane, like, Disney movies show death all the time.
Yeah.
Bambi's mom gets shot. You watch Mufasa freaking fall off a cliff into a
Sure.
herd of killdeer.
And
But
I think
they-
that's
but then again,
awesome. I
those
think
Disney-
it's good that they do that stuff.
Those Disney movies
Why?
had like sad
Oh.
scenes like spliced in between the happy, but Brave Little Toaster goes hard all the way, and you're like, geez.
I think it's good because then it shows kids that life isn't always perfect.
Yeah.
I see.
It's just the simpleness of, yeah, stuff happens. Bad stuff happens in life. That's what it is. Kind of just works like that. Sucks, but hey, it's part of life. I think it's a good message to send to kids. I just don't think you do it in such gruesome and grotesque ways.
Yeah.
I can jive with that. Like, I've always watched like Disney movies, and in my head, I would always ask, like, why are they doing the same format of the mom dies or both parents die right off the bat? Like Tarzan, Bambi, Lion King, Frozen.
I mean, while I will say that it is bad and it's overdone, it's just easy. It's just easy way to make it so that it's not
Is it like
they're not
plot
reliant on their
convenience?
on their parents. Well, it just makes it so that the younger cast have to think for themselves.
I see.
Like if Tarzan grew up with parents, he doesn't have a story at that point.
Yeah.
If Frozen doesn't have parents, well, they don't really have to think for themselves. They basically just become princesses and they get married off, If Lion King, what's his name, Simba, if Simba doesn't have a dad, then he doesn't learn how to be the king for himself, It's just an easy trope. It's an easy trope. That's why it's used. It's very easy for storytelling.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Thane. Do you have something?
Anyways, that was last year's Game Awards. Let's talk about this year's and that freaking kid.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, the freaking kid,
Bill
that showed
Clinton
up at the
guy?
end.
Yeah.
Oof. Just
So
I've seen the meme where it shows like the Elden Ring team going up on the stage and it shows the kid in the background and like the text from Elden Ring that says like
Dark
you
Spirit
can't-
has invaded.
you can't fast travel, there's enemies
Oh.
nearby or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that from Elden Ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that and it's like that's funny. That's
One
good.
of my favorite is that they have the kid and like has like the red. He like his red colored and says Dark Spirit has invaded.
That's funny.
It's pretty good.
He got arrested, by the way, so don't do
Yeah.
anything stupid like that.
Supposedly, I like.
They only arrested him. They only detained him for
Yeah,
like a
they
few
detained
hours.
him. Arresting. I don't know if you can say the word arrested because he wasn't actually like put into prison, but they did detain him.
Isn't that what Jeff
you
Keighley
would-
said though? That he was
Yeah,
arrested?
he said that, but like, what does Jeff know?
That's true. And you are right.
He probably saw the police take them away though.
Yeah.
Well, words matter. Like detaining and arrest are two different things.
Yeah.
But he's a 15-year-old kid, and he's been working with the website InfoWars, the Alex Jones website since he was 12. He went to a Blizzard Q&A panel at 13 and shouted "Free Hong Kong."
Nice.
So he's been like deep into political stuff. And apparently there's several other things that he's trolled, but this is like the biggest one, kind of like put him on the map.
His parents need to be parenting.
Maybe his parents are deep into that stuff too.
Maybe
Yeah.
he's the Disney character. His parents are gone.
Yeah. Wow.
And this is just his Disney story.
This is his arc. This is his
This
downfall arc.
This is like the bad boy arc.
But he's gonna
He's gonna have a redemption later on.
yeah. This is the last 30 minutes of the show where you get the redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that accent, I think I saw an interview. It's a fake accent he put on. He had an interview later. I only saw a few seconds. He just said he did it just because
For fun.
Yeah, just for the lulls. It's also like apparently it's part of like this. I won't go too much detail it, but it's a group that has very not too good opinions. You can look it up. Just research the whole thing. I don't remember the kid's name, but it was pretty wild.
Well, it's not necessarily something we want to promote
Yeah.
either. Like we don't condone that kind of behavior.
I find it
Yeah.
interesting that he was even there to begin with. Like, you think it's like easy to get tickets for the Game Awards? You can just buy them or something, or
He probably
I always thought it was like you
since
had to be
he-
invited.
since he probably works for InfoWars, he probably like
Was
got-
able to get invited.
yeah,
Get a press pass or something.
he probably got enough salary to
Well, I just wonder if they hand them out.
I don't know.
They give out tickets. Like maybe businesses can request them, and
That's what I would assume because it'd be like E3 at that point.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't think the people selling the tickets like check everybody because maybe they're just like, well, if it's a business, it's credible. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
That's how E3 worked. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember hearing stories of like people having like a blog back in like 2004 or something like that, and they could get E3 press passes because they got a blog, you know.
Yeah.
It's like it's not like it's impossible. I'm just curious if like they're open to the public or you actually got to be like press or something.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's the latter. I imagine it's more like press stuff. You have to
Yeah.
get into it, but
anyways, the best reveal probably was Jedi Survivor because of that prop, that one-for-one prop they created from the game.
I still need to play the first one.
Yeah,
it's hard.
it's a Souls
I
game.
quit that game.
Oof.
On the easy difficulty because easy was too easy, so that's the problem. I understand why Dark Souls doesn't do it because easy's too easy but hard's too hard. There needs to be
Yeah.
they just need to do a better balance, I think. But
Yeah,
it's just
but-
extra work and like why bother?
I'm pretty
I
sure.
understand.
But here's the thing: I'm pretty sure even the Dark Souls guys, if they decide to do an easy mode, they could probably do a better easy mode than
That's true. That's true.
Respawn. Sorry, no offense, Respawn.
Sorry, Respawn.
It's just that they're better at shooters, and this is their first like action game outside.
For
of
what I understand
shooting.
though, other than like trying to put on easy mode, it's
Yeah.
really good. If like you
Yeah.
like Souls like games, then you'd really
Yeah.
like that game.
But anyways, yeah,
Rip Cole. Anyway, that's our show for
Yeah.
the day, for the
Yeah.
week. Thank you guys for listening. We hope you guys have enjoyed. Check out our stuff. We got our places on the links and all that
Yeah.
jazz. We got our anime podcast, Life is Daijo Boo. We got our normal stuff on Rad Cats, all that jazz.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned earlier, next week is gonna be our last show of the year. We're gonna be doing like our game awards, our games of the
Yeah.
year, talking about games we played this year.
Probably not
new.
just games, but like art.
yeah.
Things are our favorite things of the year as well. So not
Yeah.
just games and stuff, just a little bit of everything, to be honest.
Yeah. So look forward to that. But thanks for watching or listening.
We hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.